We are diving into chemical showdown that's everything but ordinary. Soda ash, the backbone of glass, detergent and solar panel is under siege. China, controlling nearly half the global supply, is flooding the market with cheap exports, squeezing Indian giants like GHCL. As India's second largest soda ash producer, how is GHCL fighting back against this oversupply? Can it protect its turf and margins in a market under fire? Let's find out. We have with us Mr. R.S. Jalan, Managing Director of GHCL Limited. Thank you for joining with PTI.
Thank you, Lakshmi.
China's soda ash empire controls 45% of global capacity, flooding markets with cheap supply. How is GHCL strategically outmaneuvering these juggernauts to hold its ground?
Yeah, Lakshmi, as you rightly said, globally, China is holding around 45% of the global capacity, which is a very large, you can say that way. Now, in terms of India in terms of the total global demand is only around 6%. But one good part for India is that India is growing. India is growing. Last year it has grown by around 6%. And the way we are looking at going forward, because of the emphasis on the solar energy by the government of India, this demand is going to be growing very rapidly going forward. And keeping that into mind, there are two things which GSL is strategically doing. One, expanding their its volume. Because see, ultimately this 1 million tons of the extra demand is likely to come in next 5 years. That's the one. So we are expanding and we are trying to double our capacity what we have right now. By the way, our market share at this point of time, we are almost around 26% of the market share. So we want to continue to make the leadership. And the second advantage what we are driving and will continue to drive is our margin leader. That we are globally competitive in terms of the cost. And so all the area focus of the optimization of the cost is the second area, so that we can compete with any of the competition in the world. Of course, sometimes because of this cheap import which is happening at this point of a time from across the globe, India is seeking definitely a protection from the government, and we are working on that.
China has increased soda ash capacity in Inner Mongolia. How has this surge hit GHCL's market share and pricing?
See, GHCL is present only in the Indian market, and this, as you rightly said, Inner Mongolia, almost around 10 million tons in last 2 years has been kind of added, and this ultimately will definitely have a surplus, has created a surplus situation in the globe at this point of a time. But the good part is some volume is got absorbed into the China itself, and over a period of time, when this time is another 1 or 2 years, this capacity will get absorbed into the global market. So keeping that into mind, at this point of a time, we are definitely facing a challenge in terms of the oversupply situation globally, and we have to pass through. And I just want to add, Lakshmi, here is that GHCL has a long history of around 40 years. We have seen this kind of a situation in the past as well, and we have overcome those situations, and we have become stronger and stronger in the past. We are the margin leader. We are in terms of the market share or in terms of the cost. We are the market leader, and then we'll continue. And we have a very strong history of strong execution. So we'll continue to fight, and we will win over it.
With China's exports disrupting global markets, how are these conditions squeezing GHCL's short-term growth and export plans?
Surely at this point of time is making an impact on our short-term goals, because last year, if you look at, or the year going forward, we are seeing that kind of a margin pressures are there. But like I said, because of our margin leadership, because of our unique serviceability to the customer, because we are servicing to the customers in 12 hours. And so these are the uniqueness which we have created over a period of time, and that is helping us to kind of navigate this situation.
Cheap Chinese imports and potential dumping are a growing threat. What's GHCL playbook to shield itself from this market onslaught?
I think the only way you can do is you can keep on your cost. You continue to have a leadership in the cost, continue to challenge your cost, and continue to serve your customers in a better way. That's the only two ways you can win the market. And I think we are very nicely doing that business in last few years.
The Indian government extended the minimum import price on soda ash until December 2025, yet Chinese dumping persists. What bold steps is GHCL taking or pushing for to protect India's soda ash industry?
Like yes, government of India has done this MIP, which is a kind of some small benefit definitely, but not a very significant because the price range which has been kept was very low. But at this point of a time, we are seeing quite a big surge into the import. Almost Indian market was served by the import by around 15% historically. And now it is almost around 25%, 26%. And that is making definitely an impact on the India producers. But like I said, we have also gone to the government for a protection from this dumping which is being done by the global players. And we are seeking for a kind of a help from the government on that.
So what are the alternatives you are seeking?
And
the MIP is kept.
Yeah, after the MIP, there is only one thing which is anti-dumping duty, which we are pursuing with the government, and let's see how the things come.
So how much should be the anti-dumping?
That will be a very scientific process, Lakshmi, by which the government looks at many parameters in terms of your margin erosion or the minimum benchmark of the price, what is the import, at what price import is happening. There are many scientific, this is a very quasi-judicial body which does this complete scientific assessment, and there is a defined rule for that. So based on that, the government will kind of a work out, or the Ministry of Commerce will work out that what kind of a protection Indian industry needs, and they will try to give us that help.
Despite import price control, sub-price soda ash keeps flowing into India. How is GHCL sharpening its operations and pricing to stay competitive without sacrificing profits?
Oh, Martin, Lakshmi, definitely this is the only way which you can do is two things, as I mentioned to you. One is that you keep on challenging your course, and we have done a phenomenal job in the last I would say last 10 years. Like I said, we have a history of almost 40 years. And in 40 years, we have always been a market leader. And that market leader will only possible when you keep on challenging your cost. You keep on challenging your serviceability to the customers. So we'll keep on doing that. But of course, short period of time, margin pressure will come because of this cheap imports. But ultimately, in the longer run, like I said, the future of this business is a good future of the business. If this temporary relief is being given by the government, and I think we will be able to, and again, I would like to speak here is that we are globally competitive in terms of the cost. Only thing is this cheap import, when it happens for a short period of time, this is only for the purpose of surplus quantity of what they have. They just want to dump at any price because they have to sell somewhere, which is not an economical price. They just want to dump it. So that we have to kind of seek a government support on that.
With China's dominance looming large, what government policies like anti-dumping duties or import caps does GHCL sees as critical to leveling the playing field for India's soda ash sector?
See, anti-dumping duty is one, I would say that one way of protecting for a short period of time. I would say that definitely. And anti-dumping duty is primarily, like I said, it is a scientific process by which you protect the company or the industry for a period of time. But then that's not the right, I would say, permanent solution for any competitor. And therefore, Indian industry has to do that. They have to challenge their cost. They have to become competitive. They have to make sure that they are globally, without compromising on the margin, they should be making affordable, or I would say that at the same price what the global players can supply to the India. Of course, one disadvantage India has is that India doesn't have a natural soda ash, which, like you rightly said, India, Mongolia, US, Turkey, they have a natural soda ash. And that natural soda ash is almost half of the cost of the synthetic soda ash. Keeping that, so that challenge will continue, and that you can only service by way of a very efficient supply chain management, and make sure that your customers are largely just on time kind of a delivery with you, kind of a thing. But of course, your margin will always be under pressure because of this nature. Or second, if the global demands go up, like tomorrow, like we all visualizing that Europe will pick up their demand. Even China at this point of time is slow. Last 2 years, China has been growing in the soda ash. In 23, they have grown by 10%. and 24 they have grown by 18%. So if they grow the way, like I say, if you globally you look at the demand growth is around 3 to 4%. So if this growth goes up by 1%, then I think that also will help the domestic industry to kind of having a less less volume coming into India, because they would like to be sell profitably to other locations of the market.
Global price pressures are relentless. What specific efficiencies has GHCL rolled out to keep its profits intact amidst China's market grip?
Lakshmi, let's look at this way that today we are almost around 98% capacity utilization, 98%. Now, your margin and making your margin protect, and the only thing what you can do is sell product. You have to sell only at the price which the customers are willing to pay vis-a-vis the other competition. Okay, where the domestic players are also there and the import metals are also there. China is definitely one player in that. So our endeavor is always to make sure that we keep on challenging the cost, and we have done it. Like I said, last year we have the soda ash price has dropped by 19%, whereas our margin dropped by only 5%. So this 14% we have been able to cover by efficiency and by challenging the cost. So we'll continue to do this journey.
With global pricing headwinds in the near term, how is GHCL ensuring strong margins as it gears up for a massive capacity expansion?
See, Lakshmi, first and foremost, if you look at in terms of the margin, yes, at this point of time, margins are under pressure. But like I said, the way the demand growth which we are seeing, lot of large investments are taking place into the solar glass. Government has given some support to the solar glass industry in the last 1 year in terms of their anti-dumping duty, in terms of the duty which they have removed, they have reimposed that. They are giving incentive also under PLI to those those industries. So that is creating a kind of a big significant upside onto the solar glass, because government has a big priority. They have a dream of 300 gigawatt of the solar investment, which solar capacity built into the India, and today is only 119 gigawatt. Imagine the kind of a growth opportunity which India has. And obviously the domestic players are, if you remain competitive, if you remain on the toes of your cost, and if you remain in terms of your customer serviceability, so this market growth which will happen, this will cater to the new capacity which we are bringing up. In next 5 years, the total demand growth will be more than 1 million ton, and we are coming up with a plant of 1 million ton. So we will be able to kind of navigate. And second, we have a natural market like Bangladesh, we have a Sri Lanka. Those markets are also the market which we have. So we will cater to those markets. So I'm reasonably confident that we will be able to navigate and go into that and remain that as we have been profitable in last many years. We will continue to be profitable and maintaining this margin.
GHCL is in a high-stake battle holding the line against China's soda ash flood while sharpening its edge to stay profitable. Can it turn challenges into opportunities and redefine India's role in this global game? We'll pick up that story next time. Mr. Jalan, thank you for joining with PTI.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you very much.